All right, Shalom Boys here. In my favorite store in the whole wide world, Lowe's. Here pricing some material, but something was on my mind. Have you ever heard of the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life? That's true. Um, when you genuinely love what you do, and I love what I do. I enjoy getting up in the morning time for the most part, because I'm not a morning person, but I love getting up and going in and dealing with clients and solving their problems and completing tasks. Uh, I love doing that. It's interesting that after I got in yesterday, I had to go back out because I had to install a ceiling fan, something real quick. And, it was this complex, they bought this fancy ceiling fan, so I put it up. And afterwards, they were so uh, impressed. I mean, to me, it wasn't nothing, but they were so uh, pleased with the work that he sat down. He was like, "Hey, let's have a beer, let's have a beer." And I sat down and we had a beer. And we shoot the shit, we was talking or whatever. And we had a good time. And those are the experiences that I love. He was like, "Hey, man, you want a shot of tequila?" I was like, "Man, no, I got to get home." Husband and wife, they sit down, beautiful home out here, and uh, it was just a beautiful experience. Uh, and they want me to do more work, and that's just how it is. And we were talking about, different things, um, but it was a good experience. And what I've noticed in contrast is that if a person does not like what they do, they're genuinely not a pleasant person to be around. I mean, this has just been my personal experience. I always like to check what somebody does because if they like what they do, now it doesn't matter whether it's a Walmart job or a meatpacking job or working in corporate America. It doesn't matter what level that job is at. But what I found is that if a person is miserable at their job, they're miserable about the pay. They hate the pay. They hate the work schedule. They work. They hate what they do. They're not going to be very pleasant people to be around, to associate with, to be in relationships or fellowship with, because they genuinely are not happy people. They're not happy with the position that they have in life. They're not happy with the life that they're leading. A vast majority of a person's day, especially if you're not self-employed, is that you're working at a company. You're working for somebody else, and you're told what to do all day. And uh, if you don't like that, if you don't like what you do, if you don't like the people that you work with, um, those people are typically, it's just been my experience that those people are not very happy people to be around. They're not very um, friendly. Uh, it's just been my personal experience. Uh, so that's why it's always important to love what you do. Because if you genuinely love what you do, it's going to percolate. It's going to flow out into other areas of your life. Um, if someone, like, if a man, if he had a bad day at work and he hates his job, you think he's going to come home to a spirit where he's going to translate or relate to his wife and his children in a very peaceful, loving manner? It's nothing like coming home from a hard day's work and your children greet you at the door, or they give you a hug and a kiss. And, your wife has your food prepared. She has your clothes laid out to take a nice little hot shower, a nice hot bath. It's not like that. It's a very gratifying and very um, uplifting experience. But you got to have peace. You got to love what you do. Now, could you imagine that in contrast to a man that hates what he does? You think he's going to come home and be a loving husband? If that woman comes home after a hard day's work and she hates her job because she has to go and work some bullshit job that she doesn't want to work, because contrary to popular belief, no woman wants to work some bullshit Walmart job or some bullshit low paying slave wage job. that's just a lie. You think she's going to be very loving and very caring and very kind and very sweet? No, no. Why? Because they do not love what they do. They're inherently miserable because they spend 40, 50 hours a week. And with a lot of these slave wage jobs, you can't even get full time. It's more like 28 hours because they don't want to pay benefits and all that stuff. But they don't like what they do. So it's not going to translate to a very pleasurable experience in the home front. You get it? Love what you do. Make sure you get into things that you love what you do. Um, and that will definitely lead to a more peaceful and satisfying life at work and on the home front. All right, shalom.